What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Dispatch. This is the weekly live show that we do here every Sunday night where I run down what I consider to be the most interesting headlines in the world of film. Um, so let me see what's going on in the chat here. Let me know if I'm sounding okay, by the way, anyone who's watching. And we can get right into the first article here. So we got our first look at, it's probably better if I zoom out a little bit. We got our first look at Matt Damon as Odysseus in the Odyssey. So as far as I know, this comes to us from Discussing Film, by the way. As far as I know, this is the first actual, we know who's playing who sort of thing. We've gotten a ton of announcements as far as, casting news in this movie. But this is the first time we're seeing, we're getting, an actual character name associated with one of the actors. So Matt Damon as Odysseus, he is the lead. A lot of people were speculating that Tom Holland might be the lead. And there's further speculation that Tom Holland might be playing the young version of Odysseus, before he sets out on the Odyssey. So we'll see if there's any merit to that. But yeah, this is the first look. Holland Oates, what's up, man? Yeah, so this is our first look in theaters, July 17th, 2026. Very excited for the Odyssey. This is kind of I kind of hate this article. It's just so dumb to me. Why is that not zooming in? There we go. Yeah, so ever since HBO merged with Discovery, they've had this branding crisis. I believe they had the purple branding, then they switched to this blue when they teamed up with Discovery after that merger, and now they're looking to go into some combination of black and white. It's just why do you keep doing this? Just pick something and stick to it. This really isn't even news, but I just kind of found this, annoying, if anything. Yeah, the purple was king. I agree. Going into the comments here. Yeah, look at this. Yeah, there was at one point HBO Go was a thing, which was a completely separate entity from HBO. It was so bizarre. This was a confusing time. I guess HBO Go was the mobile version. Yeah, they just can't seem to get their shit together. Branding wise, anyway. Okay, so this comes to us from Deadline. So Steven Spielberg's next event movie with Universal will no longer go on May 15th, 2026, rather open on Friday, June 12th next year, taking over a dating slot previously occupied by the Oscar-winning Daniels' next movie. So that means we're getting this Steven Spielberg movie next year rather than 2026. Or this year, yeah. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, the Daniels, it's been since, when was Everything Everywhere? 2022? So, yeah, I don't know what's going on with their next movie, but hopefully we get that, going. Daniel's movie is coming along. It just needs more time. This is also coming to us from Deadline. A new date. So that'll be getting a new date, and we get the Spielberg movie sooner, which I'm hearing is another UFO thing, which is dope. Spielberg has done a few UFO movies, if I'm not mistaken. He did Close Encounters and E.T. I don't know if he's done anything else, but this is cool. This seems like his bread and butter, so I'm really excited for it. Just the Spielberg movie in general is exciting. So, yeah, that'll be dope. So I haven't watched this trailer. It's a teaser, but Yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to watch this teaser. I'm going to watch this movie. I really liked Talk to Me from 2 years ago, 1 year ago. I can't remember, but I really like these Philippou brothers. Cool title. I don't even know if I know the plot of this. I might have at one point and I forgot. But this comes excuse me. This comes out in May. So like this isn't too far off. Um yeah, so I'm excited to see what the Philippou brothers have in store next. Yeah. Yeah, so this will be cool. New A24 horror film coming from the Philippou brothers. Um so this comes to us from Discussing Film. Brad Winderbaum reveals they're exploring bringing back more of the Defenders characters into the MCU. So this was like the Netflix stuff. Um, these all four of these characters all had their own separate shows, and then they came together for their own like team up show called the Defenders. So this was almost like a mini MCU thing that was just limited to Netflix. It's kind of strange because this is like up until recently they're bringing back what's this guy Danny what's this guy's name, the guy who plays Daredevil. Anyway, he's coming into the MCU officially because his show was so popular, but like I guess the other three characters shows weren't popular enough, but now it's seeming like they might be. But I know people did not like Iron Fist. Jessica Jones was cool. Apparently Luke Cage was pretty cool. I never watched any of them. But I mean, I'll tell you what, man, it's just getting to be so overstuffed with characters. Like, how are you expected to bring? All right, are you ready for this? You have to bring all the Fantastic Four into the MCU in a way that's organic and makes sense. You have to bring all of the X-Men, which, like, how many how many X-Men are there? I mean, there's a lot of X-Men, is my point. There's a lot of X-Men. Okay. So you have to bring all the X-Men, Fantastic Four. You have to do somehow these Defenders characters. You've got to bring Moon Knight into the fold again. You've got to do like Miss Marvel, Hawkeye, Young Avenger. Like, there's just so much stuff, and it all feels like so scattered and like fragmented. So like I read articles like this, and I'm just like, yeah, no, for sure, man. Yeah, go ahead, Marvel. Like, just continue to. Oh, I forgot about the Eternals. That's like 10 characters right there. When are we seeing them again? So it's just so much, dude. It's so much. The new lineup of the Guardians. Like there's got to be like 2 or 300 like MCU characters at this point. It's absurd. It's ridiculous, and it's just too much. And like at one point in time, I would have been more optimistic that they would be able to juggle it. You know, you look at Infinity War and Endgame, and they were able to do all that in a way that made sense and didn't feel so scattered. But I don't know, man. I don't know how they're going to do it. But I mean, but the thing is, if they did do this, like when would we even see this? 2, 3, 4 years from now? Like, in my opinion, things don't become like real to me, quote unquote, until first of all, I want a trailer. I want to know that there's a script written, that you've gone to camera, something like that. Because all this reads as is just some Marvel executive talking. Like, I don't know who the hell Brad Winderbaum is. You know, there was a time when these headlines meant something, and now they just don't. So we're in an odd stage of Marvel where it's very much like wait and see right now. Um, like obviously things haven't been great. Uh, the new Captain America is not being received well financially or critically. So, but like, so it's a wait and see right now because if the new Avengers, the Doomsday, and the Secret Wars, if those don't really pop off and like make a couple billion, then I really do think it'll be like panic mode for the MCU, and they're going to have to really reassess things. So, yeah, I'm very skeptical of anything MCU related at this stage. um, More discussing film. We got some Last of Us season 2 posters. These are pretty cool. Just the characters, the main three characters. I'm starting to play the second game right now. It's been very fun. Really enjoying it. I'm about 5 hours in, and I'll probably play some more after this live stream. Actually, but yeah, really enjoying this game so far. Really liked season 1, so I'm really excited for this. Feels like we haven't had like a appointment television show in a while where it's like every Sunday, like that's where I'll be. Um, it'll be fun talking about each episode with your friends after. Like I miss that. I feel like we haven't had anything like that in a minute. I think the last one was like House of the Dragon season 2, which was pretty disappointing in my opinion. So yeah, super excited for Last of Us season 2. We got some Will Smith news here to talk about. Again, from discussing film, Will Smith says Hancock 2 is in the works. With this is kind of a funny. I don't know why this is funny to me. They plan to approach Zendaya for a role. Like it's just funny to me that like that they're like they're. I'm picturing them like nervously like going like this, like oh, we might ask her, we might not. Like they haven't decided yet. I guess. I don't know. It's just funny to me. Um, but yeah, Hancock. I never saw that movie, but I think it was kind of like ahead of its time. Because that was like right before Marvel really popped off big the way that it did, and he's sort of like an unconventional, like sarcastic superhero. Dude, yeah. Apparently, Will Smith went on his live stream. I'm glad you pointed that out. Apparently Will Smith went on XQC's live stream and they were just chilling together. I don't know. I don't really follow any of that kind of culture. Like I don't watch XQC or Ludwig or any of those like Zoomers. Um, that's just not for me. It's cool if it's for you, not for me though. But yeah, apparently Will Smith was on his stream. Um, so yeah, never seen Hancock. Might be fun. I don't know. I don't know. But the weirder thing is, in addition to that, we had previously heard that I Am Legend 2 was happening. And now it's apparently official. And him and Michael B. Jordan have sat down for about a week and went through character stuff. So this is more interesting to me than a Hancock 2, because I do think I Am Legend is a pretty cool movie. I like Michael B. Jordan. So yeah, I just think it's funny that Will Smith is like just running it back. Like he's just going back to the well with these like super late game sequels, but like that's also just very much the era we're in right now where like that's all we seem to be getting. Uh and I don't know if it's really Top Gun Maverick's fault. Like I feel like there was some really pop. I mean, you could go back to like Force Awakens, Jurassic World, that sort of stuff. But yeah, I mean that's just very much like the last decade of movies has just been these late stage legacy sequels to the point now where like a couple weeks ago we talked about like Rami and Michelle's high school reunion is getting a late stage. It's like Rami and Michelle Maverick. Like it's like anything that ever had a cult following of any size can and will get a late stage sequel. with a passing of the torch from a young actor to a new actor. Like that's the era we're in. So not to say it's inherently a negative thing. Hollywood's been creatively bankrupt for the past insert X number of years. But if a movie's good, a movie's good. So I won't write this off. I'm more interested in this than I am Hancock 2. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. I recently saw The Monkey in theaters. I thought it was fine. I wasn't in love with it. I have a review for that up on the channel if anyone wants to check that out. But I'm pissed because I forgot that after the movie, there was this like preview for his next film, Keeper, and I totally forgot, and I just left the theater. I didn't even remember. But I'm almost kind of glad because I don't like. I'm very much in my no trailers era right now. So like maybe I'm cool with not seeing it. I don't know. It depends on the trailer, right? Because some trailers can show so much more. Some trailers can show very little. Oh, which reminds me, I did see the trailer for the new Dave Franco, Alison Brie horror film called Together. I think that's what it's called. Looks very good. I was sitting in the theater for The Monkey. Didn't feel like getting up to avoid the trailer, which is something that I've been doing more and more recently. Like anytime the Sinners trailer comes on, I have to just get up and run out of the theater because I don't want to see that one. But the trailer for Together came on, and I didn't know what it was, so I just kind of sat there. I was like, all right, whatever. Like I'll just see how this is. But yeah, this is coming in October. Dude, so Osgood Perkins, he's just cranking out movies, dude. Like the man is working. And even though The Monkey I didn't think was that great, Longlegs is dope, and now he's got 2 movies in the same year coming out right after that. So good for him. Yeah, I'm excited for this. Stars Tatiana Maslany, who is also in The Monkey. Follows a couple celebrating their anniversary in a remote cabin where they discover the horrors in it once Malcolm leaves abruptly. I don't know. So yeah, obviously always seated. I love Osgood Perkins. He's really cool. Excuse me. Okay. Got some Daniel Craig news here. So Sergeant Rock that's a DC character. Apparently Luca Guadagnino is doing a DC, I guess it's Sergeant Rock film, and Daniel Craig was going to play the role, but apparently he's dropped out due to scheduling conflicts. And that doesn't seem to be any merit to this, but however, some say, I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I don't know who some is, but apparently some say he soured on the role after Queer, his previous film with Luca, failed financially and in awards season. So I don't know if there's any stock in that. Or maybe he just doesn't want to do a DC movie. I don't know. I have no idea who Sergeant Rock is, but I find the fact that Luca Guadagnino is doing a DC Studios film to be very interesting. Really seems like DC's trying to like really have these like auteur directors handle their products, or I don't know, products is the right word. I guess it's not that far off. But which on paper I like. I like the idea of attaching some prestige to this and actually making each thing feel distinct. So hopefully it's cool. I think it'll be interesting seeing Luca kind of in that comic book like movie machine. But I have no doubt that he will really make it his own. Otherwise, I don't think he would do it. We got Steve Mayers. Greetings, Mark and Flick Fiends. What's going on, man? I don't know. I don't think I've seen you in the chat before. So welcome. Thank you for being here. Or maybe you have. I'm not sure. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe we follow each other on Instagram or something. But nonetheless, really happy to have you. Thanks for being here. um, let's see. So we got Bong Joon-ho's next live-action movie will be a horror action film set in an underground subway in Seoul, which I believe is in South Korea. That's like my life project. This is a story I've been thinking about since 2001. So obviously Bong Joon-ho, um, director of Parasite, and he's also got Mickey 17 coming out next month, which I'm excited for. But seeing him do a horror action film would be really something. I don't know if he's done any horror films. Let's take a look see. So he's obviously done Memories of Murder, which is more of like a Seven vibe. Snowpiercer. I think Host is like a horror film, right? Or The Host. I'm not as familiar with his filmography, admittedly. But yeah, that's super dope. We'd be definitely down for a Bong Joon-ho action horror. Sounds awesome. So I'm in. So apparently, some of us, if you don't know, Greta Gerwig is doing some Narnia movies. These are for Netflix, right? If I'm not mistaken. Sorry for the dead air, folks. I'm pretty sure this is a Netflix thing, but they're also getting theatrical distribution. Been following you for the past year. I just looked, thought I had you on Instagram, but now I added you. Thanks, man. Well, I really appreciate that. Welcome. Yeah, if you don't know, this is just the weekly live show I do every Sunday where I kind of just talk about headlines that I find interesting in the world of film. So, but yeah, I'm optimistic about the Greta Gerwig Narnia movies. But I'm very skeptical that I doubt she's going to direct all 8. She'll probably be producer, maybe writer, but I really doubt she'll probably direct the first 2 maybe, and then pivot to like a more secondary role. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure last time on a prior show we had talked about the fact that they had established that Netflix would give these like a limited theatrical run of some sort because I think she really campaigned for it, which is awesome. I don't like the idea of these things just getting dumped on Netflix. So the fact that it's also going to be IMAX is cool. Hopefully, I can actually catch this somewhere. Might have to go to New York for it, but yeah. Okay. So this is actually kind of depressing news, I think. So apparently, let's see. Just want to make sure I'm getting this right before I just tell you guys what's going on. So basically, Amazon has full creative control of what happens with Bond going forward. The idea is that these people, Michael G. Wilson and Barbara Broccoli, I believe, have been up until recently the rights holders of the Bond franchise. But now Amazon MGM Studios has basically bought these rights. Yeah. So the thing about this that sucks is that we're still going to get theatrical Bond movies, but the idea, someone released a quote apparently where it was like, let me see. I think I have it right here. Yeah, so these guys, Barbara Broccoli, Michael G. Wilson, were the stewards of these Bond rights. It's like their families, so I guess their dad is what's that guy's name who wrote Bond? I'm blanking here. God, I'm sorry, guys. James Ian Fleming. Okay, sorry. So I guess these are the children or grandchildren of Ian Fleming, and basically they sold the rights fully and creatively to MGM Amazon, and so this is the thing. They're trying to make this into Marvel or Star Wars. I'm sorry for that long-winded build-up, guys. Just want to make sure I have all my facts straight. But basically, they're trying to make this like Marvel and Star Wars, and the problem is that it's going to create this. It's going to be very diluted. They're going to continue to do these theatrical films, obviously, because that's what really makes money. But they're also going to try to do like spin-off shows and, various other things to kind of that will ultimately serve to dilute the brand. So it's hard not to look at this and be a bit cynical, because that just doesn't sound great to me. Something that was cool about Bond was the fact that it was only in theaters. It had this sense of prestige to it. You weren't just getting a new Bond film, let alone 2 or 3 Bond products in a year, which is what we'll probably be getting. So the if you're a James Bond fan, it might seem like on paper this is a good thing because we're going to be getting a lot more Bond content, but ultimately this is going to just dilute the brand basically. And Bond is not going to have that level of prestige to it that it once did. And yeah, just kind of a bummer, honestly. But yeah, what are you going to do? All right. So, got another trailer here. I'm not going to play this, but if you want to go check it out, you can. It's out right now. So there's this book, Clown in a Cornfield, which is written by this guy Adam Cesare, and it's like supposed to be this very popular book. It's a very successful slasher novel. I think it's a series now. There might be 2 or 3 of them at this point. And apparently we're finally getting a movie, which people are excited for, which is cool. I'm happy for the author. I have not read this book though, so I don't really know what the vibe is, like what the tone is necessarily. But I'm probably just going to go into this blind. I don't know if this is going to go straight to like Shudder or if this will get theatrical distribution. But yeah, if you're a fan of this Clown in a Cornfield novel, we got the movie coming. So that's exciting. What's even more exciting is that Richard Kelly is set to shoot his first film in over 15 years. And if you don't know, he is the director of Donnie Darko and Southland Tales. I love Donnie Darko, one of my favorite movies ever. And yeah, I read this article and I was like, wow, he really hasn't made anything in over 15 years. I don't know if that's by choice or if just nobody would give this guy funding, but it's a sad state of affairs when the guy who made Donnie Darko can't get a movie made. I mean, shit. I shouldn't be surprised though, because like Francis Ford Coppola had to like sell half of his winery, or maybe the whole thing. He had to sell a large stake in his winery just to make Megalopolis, which like, opinions vary whether that was like a smart move or not. But the point is, you could be the guy who made The Godfather, and people aren't just going to throw you money. So it shouldn't be terribly surprising to me, but yeah, I'm excited. I will see this on just the basis that it's Richard Kelly. So I hope it's a successful endeavor for him. We got some Scorsese news. It seems like Scorsese has like a ton of projects in development. I feel like I keep seeing like headlines about his like upcoming projects. Like he like, and I'm just like, okay, well, like which one is actually happening? So there's this Devil in the White City thing, which has been in development forever. We talked about that a few times on the show. He wants to do another like Jesus movie. There's talks that he's doing a Frank Sinatra biopic. The Wager was supposed to be it. This thing Home, I don't even know what this is. Grateful Dead biopic, like all this stuff. And it's like, okay, well, like which one's he actually doing? After Killers, I Googled how many more movies is he going to do, and at that time it said 2. Yeah, I mean, I think he'll continue to do as many as he can until he dies. Not to sound morbid, but it's just like, which one are you actually doing, Marty? And then so this news came out of nowhere. Like this wasn't even on the table, and then it's like, oh, okay. So now he's doing a Hawaii set Goodfellas meets The Departed, which is kind of like a non-statement. It's kind of just like saying Goodfellas meets Goodfellas or The Departed meets The Departed. Like, what is that? Like, what does Goodfellas meets The Departed mean? Like, that's kind of a non-statement. But it's got DiCaprio, Emily Blunt, and fucking Dwayne Johnson. Which, okay. Very strange to me. I don't like The Rock. I think The Rock stinks. And now he's like doing this bid to like do these more prestige films. Like he's got this Smashing Machine movie coming out with one of the Safdie brothers, where it's supposed to be like a real movie and not like, Jungle Cruise or Jumanji or some dumb shit like that. Apologies if you like those movies, but like I don't know. Part of me wonders. Part of me wonders if like the cachet of Dwayne Johnson is like somehow helping get this movie made. Like as if, Scorsese and Leo and Emily Blunt don't have enough forward momentum to like get something off the ground and greenlit. So like you have to kind of do this Dwayne Johnson stunt casting to get your movie made. I don't know if that's just me being cynical or what, but yeah. Hard to be excited about this. I really like I'm open to being proven wrong, and like maybe Dwayne Johnson's great and like can turn in a serious performance. But yeah, I don't know. I just look at him and I think of Black Adam and how cocky and arrogant he was about that whole thing, and trying to like fast track like a Black Adam versus Superman thing, and like how quickly all that fell apart. Black Adam is legitimately one of the, if not the worst superhero movie I've ever seen in my life. So, as far as I'm concerned, Dwayne Johnson has a lot of stink surrounding him. And I think, like, and then it's the fact that it's Hawaii set. Like, was that a Dwayne Johnson call? Like, what ties to Hawaii does fucking Martin Scorsese have? He's from New York. Like, this is just bizarre to me. It's very bizarre. And I don't know what to make of this. I'm very perplexed by this. I'm not excited about this almost at all. But that being said, I'm open to being proven wrong because it's Scorsese and he deserves the benefit of the doubt. And then okay, so following up on that, hold on. Did I click this right? There we go. Netflix, Apple, Amazon, and Warner Bros. Are in a bidding war for this crime thriller starring Dwayne Johnson, Leo, and Emily Blunt. The expectation is the streamer will likely be the highest bidder and win the movie. So on one hand, I think it's cool. I agree with this top comment here. WB needs this. This needs a full theatrical release. I agree. I don't want to see this get snatched up by like Netflix or Apple or God forbid Amazon, and it just be a streaming movie. I want to see this stuff in theaters. Scorsese deserves to be seen in theaters. And I don't just mean for one night in like 2 cities, so that they can qualify for an Oscar. Like I've actually, I've grown to resent just this logo in general, because this logo, generally speaking, means like some cynical shit is going on. Oh man, maybe I'm just jaded. I don't know, but yeah, this whole thing is. It seems to be really like this is actually what's going to happen next for Scorsese, because if this headline is to be believed, like there is an active bidding war happening for it, which means like they're trying to fast track it. So yeah, I don't know. Really, really bizarre times we're living in. Be fantastic if Scorsese can bring back Jack Nicholson from retirement like he did with Joe Pesci. I almost don't know if I want to see Jack Nicholson in any movies anymore. He's quite old now. He's very retired. And I don't know, there's something to be said for just kind of letting the legacy rest. Like at a certain point it becomes like kind of like like a stunt, like a gimmick. And it's just kind of sad, because their best acting days are behind them. So I'd rather just kind of let it be, That's just my take. Some more Marvel stuff. I should have put this with the other Marvel news. So this is kind of right in line with what I was just talking about. I mean, like not long ago. Jack looked great at his age in the SNL 50th show. I don't doubt that. How old is Jack Nicholson? Jack Nicholson is 87 years old. That man is 87. Yeah, I mean, he was just like in the crowd though, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like he was just kind of there, so, which is awesome. I'm glad that he made an appearance. Apparently, he doesn't just his appearances are getting more and more rare. So, yeah, I don't really need to see him in any movies personally. I think he's earned his retirement. He has nothing left to prove. But anyway, as far as I was talking about with these Marvel things, I don't think anybody knows who Nova is unless you're an actual big comic book fan. I've at least heard of Nova in passing. I have no idea what Terror Inc. is, and a Doctor Strange spinoff starring Wong. Like, no offense to, I think his name's Benedict Wong, the guy who plays Wong, like this gentleman right here. No offense to him, but we have more important shit to worry about than doing a spin-off show starring this guy. Like, let's just be real. like I was saying earlier, they have all these new characters that they have yet to introduce, as well as somehow juggling all the ones that they currently have on their plate. And now you want to do Nova and Terror Inc. and A Strange Academy starring fucking Wong? Like, let's get serious for a second. Nobody's asking for any of these things, first and foremost. You know what they are asking for? Fantastic Four, X-Men, Blade. Let's work on that. So it seems like they're actually like, someone finally had a stroke of genius and was like, you know what? Maybe we don't need to worry about these right now, and we can work on something else. Which, like, fucking duh is all I'll say. I mean, I just don't understand. Excuse me, folks. Let me take a sip of this. So I think last week we discussed the Clayface movie, and they were in like a bidding war. Not a bidding war. They had a couple different directors that they were looking at. One of whom was Jeff Wadlow, I think. What's up, Frank? How you doing, buddy? Thank you for joining us. If you're not familiar, this is just the Dispatch. This is a weekly live stream that I do every Sunday night, where I just kind of run down headlines in the world of film and TV that I find interesting. So, yeah, a little bit more DC news. Um, so, like I was saying with the Luca Guadagnino thing that was supposed to have Daniel Craig, like Luca Guadagnino is like a real filmmaker, you know? Like he's not like some of these yes men that Marvel typically hires to do their films. Like and to be fair to Marvel, like they've had um excuse me. They've had Ryan Coogler, they've had uh they've had Chloe Zhao. They've had some actual filmmakers do their movies. But it's few and far between. James Gunn, big example. People with an actual voice. Um, so, but this is exciting to me. I haven't seen this, like Speak No Evil. I think it's the remake that this guy did with James McAvoy. But I mean, who asked for this? I don't know. I kind of asked for this. Random Twitter comment. Yeah, I'm excited for like a dark DC Clayface movie. I don't know. I think this is what DC needs to start doing. Like do your Supermans and do your big stuff like that, your big tent poles, but like don't be afraid to shy away from the more less adaptable characters. Like Clayface, I still don't understand. Like I don't still don't like. Is he going to look like this? Is he going to look like this guy? Like I don't know how they're going to tackle it. It's a little bit more effects heavy, perhaps, but I'm interested. And apparently, the budget's like super low for a comic book movie. Apparently, it's like 40 million or something. So, yeah, Clayface is shaping up to be cool. I think Mike Flanagan's attached, and like, I think he's either a producer or he might even be writing it. I am not even sure. Mud Nelson's in the house. What's up, bro? Yeah, dude. I don't know if you want to like rewind. I already talked about it in the replay or whatever. But yeah, a Hawaii set crime thriller starring The Rock, Leo, and Emily Blunt. I don't know what's up with that. It's very strange to me, but that's what's happening. What is this? Oh yeah, so speaking of Leo, Damien Chazelle is out of director jail following Babylon, and he's doing a Evil Knievel biopic starring Leo. Typically, I don't really get excited for biopics. I don't really find them to be all that interesting. But I think when you do it about a guy like Evil Knievel, like that could be really interesting. And Damien Chazelle is a great guy to do it. I've loved all his movies. Maybe not loved. I didn't really love First Man. But and then I mean obviously Leo is great. So this could potentially be really cool. Like if you don't know, Evil Knievel was a famous stuntman, and he did some crazy shit. So I think this is just the same thing. Yes. Yeah, okay. Um so we're pretty much done here, folks. Oh, hang on. I think I linked this incorrectly. Yeah, I did. All right, so the last thing I was just going to talk about was the super low box office of the Captain America movie that came out. Apparently, it just didn't do well at the box office. And also the SAG Awards are going on right now, so I think that's like live on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken. What is this? Speaking of the Captain America movie, bro's just eating at his table. That's funny. Yeah, so basically the Captain America movie just is not doing well. It had a pretty big drop off in its second weekend. Sorry, folks. I know this is not good airtime. What is this? All right. So, yeah, apparently Netflix wants to do a Gears of War movie. That would be dope. Dave Bautista has campaigned for the role of Marcus for a while. That would be sick. Sorry, I'm kind of just seeing these headlines. White Chicks 2. Yeah, I saw that earlier. That's not really worth talking about to me. um, if that happens, it happens. Okay, so this is actually the article that I wanted to just talk about real quick. 28.3 in the million in the second weekend. Not a good number. 68.1% drop from the opening weekend, which is the third biggest drop for an MCU movie. So yeah, I mean, this kind of ties into what I was saying earlier about Marvel. Like, we're very much in wait and see period right now. Like, this isn't surprising to me. I feel like most people actually expected this to kind of not do well. Um, so like, fine, whatever. But like, if Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars don't deliver, like, it's panic mode for Marvel, in my opinion. Lady Snowblood remake would be sick. I need to watch Shogun too. Has anyone watched Shogun? I'm assuming you have, but Nelson. I'm so bad with TV shows, man. Like, I really don't watch as many as I should. It's just hard to find the time. It really is. But excuse me. All right, guys. So that's all the news I have for you tonight. Hollow Note says Shogun was good. I was gonna say, just kind of talk about the channel, I guess, and like what I've got going on. I have I have an interview that I'm doing. I have another interview. Those of you who don't know, I was able to interview Mike Manello, who was a producer on the Blair Witch Project. It's like an hour and a half interview. It's on my channel right now. And I have lined up another interview that I'm going to be doing March. So that will be up sometime in early April. And I'm not going to say who it is yet, but he's an author, and he's written some of my favorite books that I've ever read. It's not Stephen King, just in case anyone had any big ideas about that. But so very excited about that. I can't imagine it's something that. Actually, I'm not even going to say anything. But yeah, another interview. I'm very excited. I really like doing interviews. It's not something I ever thought I'd get to do. Talk to people who are involved in like some of my favorite things. Like talking to Mike Manello, the guy who helped produce Blair Witch Project, was like such a crazy thing. Like, and obviously I'm a small channel, but I don't know. When you get to do things like that, it makes you feel like you're on the right track. So that was a highlight for me. So I'm really excited to do it again and interview this author. So hopefully that'll open the doors so I can continue to interview people, because I really enjoy that. I love getting to talk to creative people. So I've got that coming, but that's not going to be for a while, a couple months. I have a review up for The Monkey on the channel. If anyone wants to check that out, you're more than welcome to. And then I'm currently working on a script for a bigger video. It's a pretty ambitious thing. It's about I won't say what it is yet, but it's about a what can I tease? It's a horror movie, obviously, but it's based on a video game. I'll just say that. So I'll just leave it at that. And I want to do it right. I want to do it justice. So that might take a little while, but that's what I'm working on right now. And then obviously I'll have smaller stuff out in the meantime. So, but That's going to be it for me, guys. Thanks again for watching. Thanks for coming out to this episode of The Dispatch. You can catch me here every Sunday night around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, with all that being said, guys, please take care and watch more movies.